Here's number 5 of the
A long Halloween
storyline.
night, number 5. Police case log, Ashmore incidents. Detective Elias Crow, location private office residence Ashmore. Recording type personal case documentation date, October 31st, recorder click. Detective Elias Crow speaking. Personal documentation log. If anyone finds these tapes someday, this is everything I know about the town of Ashmore. A pause. I used to think the stories were just that. Stories. Old ghost tales to scare kids on Halloween. But after everything I've seen, I'm not so sure anymore. The 1600, the first records. The earliest documentation comes from the early settlers in the 1600s. Handwritten journals, church logs, witness accounts. The first name that shows up is Gregor Vance, a supposed monster hunter. The writings claim he came to the region chasing something described as a vampire mistress, an empress even. Name Lady Seraphine. The journals say Gregor Vance killed her. Apparently, she had a castle somewhere in the woods outside what would later become Ashmore. The ruins of that castle were excavated in the early 1900s. Artifacts from it now sit in the Ashmore Historical Museum. Jewelry, silver chalices, and a coffin lined with iron spikes. The museum says it's symbolic, but the journals say it was built to keep something inside. Shah Father Solomon Vira. Not long after the Seraphine incident, another name appears. Father Solomon Vira, a priest. According to records, he started a cult. They believed in something they called the Hollow God. The journals say they performed rituals inside an old church outside town. That ritual supposedly summoned a demon. Name Malzareth. The church was raided by local authorities at the time. The cult members were gunned down. Solomon Vire was presumed dead, but the final entry in the records says something strange. It says the demon left Solomon's body, and what remained kept walking. Some locals say Solomon still wanders the woods. A rotting corpse moving through the trees. A zombie, a husk, a remnant. Whatever you want to call it, the church still stands today, and the museum keeps something important from that site. A book. The Book of Malzareth. 1700, The Goat Man. Next incident comes from the early 1700s. A man named Byrock. According to some records, he was possessed. Others say he simply snapped. He placed a goat skull on his head, picked up a wood chopping axe, and climbed a hill. He killed several people. Foreigners, some natives, and a priest. The hill later became known as Resident Hill. The Book of Malzareth suggests Byrock was another host of the demon. Malzareth again. Fast forward to the 1990s. Apparently Byrock showed up again. A summer camp attack. One survivor, a teenage boy. The boy reportedly stabbed Byrock with a magical dagger. The body disappeared. Then, somehow, in 1996, authorities found Byrock's body in a desert hundreds of miles away, mummified. The museum now displays him. In 1880, the Mothman. Next report, missing child, year 1880. The official report says the boy got lost in the woods, but locals living near the abandoned church say something else. They say he followed a glowing light, and something with wings took him. The Mothman. The museum keeps newspaper clippings about the event. There are also rumors that the creature returned in the 1990s, but there's no solid proof. Just more stories. Number 1944, My Father's War Story. My father fought in World War II. He told me a story once. Said him and his squad fought something in Europe. He called them Nazi zombies. I never believed him. Thought it was trauma or war stories. But considering everything else in this town, who knows? 1976, The Girl Who Met Herself. 1976, a teenage girl reported meeting her future self on Halloween night. She tried to go public. Local news laughed it off. The story died quickly. But the report still exists in the archives. 1983, The Faceless Girl. In 1983, a young girl was committed to a mental hospital. She kept saying something disturbing. She said she couldn't see anyone's face. Everyone looked like they were missing skin. Doctors called it a mental condition. The case file is still in the museum archives. 1994, my first year on the force. This is when things got real for me. I had just become a patrol officer. A news reporter and her cameraman went into the city sewers. They were investigating missing homeless people. The cameraman never came back. But the footage we recovered showed something rat-like, big, and behind it, a group of homeless people chanting its name, Vermix. The reporter fell into some kind of black liquid. The footage cut out. A couple weeks later, she was back on TV, and then she transformed, right there on live television, into a rat creature. She killed her co-host. That footage aired exactly one time. One day. Then a special agency confiscated everything. The museum has a canister of that black liquid. 1995, the year everything happened, a Christian teenage girl, her mother committed suicide. The girl later claimed she kept seeing her entire family killing themselves over and over again. She was sent to a mental hospital. That same year, the girl's brother survived the Goatman attack. And according to local rumors, the Mothman returned again and killed several teenagers. If that's true, maybe it left the area afterward. Maybe it found bigger prey. 2001, the school attack. 2001, a terrorist attack. A gas attack on a school. Most of the students died. Only a few survived. One of the victims was my youngest sister. A long pause. The museum keeps records of the attack. They keep records of everything. 2019, the alien case. An astronaut named Ashley McLean came forward. She claimed an alien got onto her spacecraft, killed her entire crew. She survived by blasting it out an airlock. The government removed the interview from the internet within hours. Ashley moved away with her husband and daughter. The museum has something strange. They say it's fake, but it looks like alien body parts. 2020, the video game Death. A teenage boy was found dead in his living room. His body looked like victims in a horror game. The game was called Last Light in Ashmore. The monster in the game was called the Red Watcher. The game was based on this town. The museum now owns the copy found in the house. 2022, the date case. One case remains unresolved. A teenage actor went on a date. There are 3 possible outcomes. One version says he was stood up. One says he was murdered in an alley by a robber. And another says he was kidnapped by a stalker who was obsessed with him. The museum has a strange love letter written to him. It's disturbing. 2023, the VR incident. A company tested a new virtual reality paradise. 2 people used the headsets. They ended up brain dead. The museum owns the headsets. 1 blue, 1 pink. The rest are locked up by the government. Phone ringing in the background. Detective Crow picks up. Yes? Pause. You're serious? Long silence. Same wounds? Same knife? All right, I'm on my way. He turns back to the recorder. One last thing. We've been tracking a serial killer. He never talks. He stabs his victims with a butcher knife. Same wounds every time. They call him the Silencer. And now, he's here in Ashmore. Recorder click. A Long Halloween Night, Volume 2. Of A Long Halloween Night, map of events and locations, 1600 to 2023. The Ashmore Incident Map. This is a location-based map guide to the major supernatural and tragic events in Ashmore, showing where the stories from A Long Halloween Night took place over the centuries. The town is small, but the number of horrors tied to it is unusually high. Many of these locations still exist today, and several artifacts connected to them are kept in the Ashmore Historical Museum. Number 1, Lady Seraphine's Castle Ruins. Location, deep in the northern forest outside Ashmore. Year, 1600. This ruined castle once belonged to Lady Seraphine, an alleged vampire described in the writings of monster hunter Gregor Vance. Ash events. Gregor Vance arrived to hunt Lady Seraphine. A battle reportedly occurred inside the castle. The journals claim Gregor killed her. Present day. The castle is mostly collapsed ruins. Several artifacts from the site are now stored in the Ashmore Museum. Number 2, the Old Church of the Hollow God. Location, Western Woods outside town. Year, 1600. This abandoned church is where Father Solomon Veer and his cult operated. Events, cult worship of the demon Malzareth. Ritual known as the summoning of the Hollow God. A demonic hand reportedly burst through the church floor. Police raided the church and killed the cult members. Solomon Veer was believed dead. Legend, locals say Solomon still walks the woods as a rotting corpse. Number 3. Resident Hill location, southeast of Ashmore, year 1700, the site of the Bayrock murders. Events. Bayrock wore a goat skull and attacked travelers. Victims included settlers, natives, and a priest. The Book of Malzareth later suggested Bayrock may have been possessed. Had or later discovery. Bayrock's body was discovered mummified in 1996. His remains are displayed in the Ashmore Museum. Number 4. The abandoned Churchwoods location near the old church, year 1880, site of the Mothman incident. Events. A young boy followed a strange glowing light. The child disappeared and was never found. Locals believe the Mothman killed him. Later sightings. The creature reportedly returned in 1995. Number 5. Ashmore War Memorial Archive location inside Ashmore Museum, year 1944. This exhibit contains war testimonies from local soldiers. Events. One soldier, later the father of Detective Crow, claimed that during World War II his unit fought Nazi zombies. The account was never verified. Number 6. Old Highway intersection. Location South Ashmore. Year 1976 site of the Future You, Future Me incident. Events. A teenage girl reported meeting her future self. She attempted to report the story publicly. The event was dismissed as delusion. Number 7. St. Miriam Mental Hospital, location Edge of Ashmore, year 1983, the hospital where the no-face girl was committed. Events. The girl claimed everyone looked faceless. Doctors diagnosed psychological trauma. Records remain archived. Number 8. Ashmore Sewer System location beneath downtown Ashmore. Year 1994, site of the Vermix incident. Events. A news reporter and cameraman entered the sewers investigating missing homeless people. Cameraman was killed by a large rat-like creature. Homeless cultists were seen worshiping something named Vermix. Reporter fell into black liquid. Aftermath. Weeks later, she transformed into a rat creature on live television. The broadcast was confiscated by a government agency. Number 9. Ashmore National Forest Campgrounds location, Northern Forest, year 1995, site of the Goatman Camp Massacre. Events. Bayrock reportedly returned. A group of teens were attacked. One survivor killed Bayrock using a magical dagger. Number 10. Ashmore East High School location, Central Ashmore. Year 2001, site of the gas attack. Events. Terrorists released gas inside the school. Many students died. Only a few survived. The tragedy affected many families in Ashmore. Number 11. Ashmore Historical Museum. Location, downtown Ashmore. This is the central archive of the town's dark history. Stored artifacts. Items from Lady Seraphine's castle, the Book of Malzareth, Bayrock's mummified body, Vermix black liquid canister, alien body fragments claimed to be fake, the Last Light and Ashmore game copy, the 2022 love letter evidence, 2 VR headsets from the 2023 incident. The museum essentially contains the town's entire supernatural history. Number 12. The McLean Residence, former. Location, suburbs of Ashmore. Year 2019, home of astronaut Ashley McLean. Events. Claimed alien creature boarded her spacecraft. She ejected it through an airlock. Government removed the interview online. She later moved away with her family. Number 13. The Jensen Residence, location East Ashmore. Year 2020, location where a teenager was found dead. Events. Victim was playing Last Light in Ashmore. His body resembled victims from the game's monster, the Red Watcher. Number 14. Ashmore Downtown District location, Central City. Year 2022. Site of the date case. Possible outcomes. Stalker kidnapping, robbery murder, or simply being stood up. Truth remains unknown. Number 15. Neurolife VR Research Lab location, outside Ashmore, year 2023, site of the Torture of God incident. Events. Experimental VR paradise tested. Users became brain dead. 2 headsets remain in the museum. Conclusion, from 1600 to 2023, nearly every major supernatural event in Ashmore connects to only a handful of locations. The Old Church, Resident Hill, the sewer system, Ashmore Forest, Ashmore Historical Museum. Many investigators believe the town itself may be influenced by the demon Malzareth. Others believe it's coincidence. But if the legends are true, the worst events in Ashmore may not have happened yet. If you want, I can also create a visual style Ashmore town map with where everything is located, a villain guide, all A long Halloween night monster list. Creatures, demons, and killers of Ashmore. Across the centuries, the town of Ashmore has been home to many horrors. Some are supernatural, some are alien, and some are simply human monsters. Below is the complete monster list from 1600 to 2023. Number 1, Malzareth, the hollow god, type demon. First appearance 1600, status unknown, possibly active, description. Malzareth is the most dangerous entity connected to Ashmore. The cult of Father Solomon Vire summoned it during a ritual known as the Summoning of the Hollow God. Abilities: demonic possession, corrupting human hosts, possibly creating other monsters, influencing minds. Father Solomon Vire, Byrok, possibly. Malzareth may be the root cause of many supernatural events in Ashmore. Number 2, Lady Seraphine, type vampire mistress empress. First appearance 1600, status presumed destroyed, cash description. Lady Seraphine was an ancient vampire who ruled from a castle outside Ashmore. She was hunted by Gregor Vance, a monster hunter who claimed to have killed her. Abilities: superhuman speed, immortality, hypnosis, blood feeding. Artifacts from her castle are now kept in the Ashmore Museum. Number 3, Father Solomon Vire, type undead host zombie husk. First appearance 1600, status possibly still alive, description. After Malzareth left his body, Solomon reportedly continued walking as a rotting corpse. Abilities: undead endurance, unknown supernatural influence. Locals claim he still wanders the woods near the old church. Number 4, Byrok, the Goat Man. Type cursed killer, possible demon host. First appearance 1700. Status destroyed. Description: Byrok wore a goat skull and murdered travelers on Resident Hill. In 1995, he returned and attacked a group of campers. Abilities: superhuman strength, immortality like resurrection, axe combat. He was finally killed by a magical dagger. His mummified body now rests in the museum. Number 5, the Mothman type unknown cryptid. First appearance 1880, status unknown. Description: a massive winged creature with glowing red eyes. It is known to lure victims with strange lights before attacking. Abilities: flight, supernatural lights, extreme speed, silent movement. Sightings were reported again in 1995. Number 6, Vermix, the Sewer King. Type rat monster mutation entity. First appearance 1994, status unknown. Description: a giant rat-like creature living in Ashmore's sewer system. Homeless cultists were seen worshiping it. Abilities: extreme size, sharp claws and teeth, possibly spreads infection through black liquid. One news reporter was infected and transformed into a rat creature. Number 7, the Vermix spawn. Type rat-human mutations. First appearance 1994, description: humans infected by Vermix's black liquid can transform into rat creatures. One known victim killed her co-host during a live broadcast. Number 8, Nazi zombies. Type undead soldiers. First appearance 1940, description: during World War II, American soldiers reportedly fought undead Nazi troops. The truth of this event is still debated. Number 9, the Faceless Vision. Type psychological, possible supernatural entity. First appearance 1983, description: a girl claimed everyone appeared without skin on their faces. It may be a mental illness or something far darker. Number 10, Zytherian type, alien parasite shapeshifter. First appearance 2019, status 1 destroyed, hashtag description: a deadly alien species capable of disguising itself as humans. It can also transform into a horrifying body horror creature. Abilities: shapeshifting, extreme strength, biological astronaut Ashley McLean ejected one into space. Number 11, the Red Watcher. Type digital dimensional entity. First appearance 2020, status unknown, description: a tall red figure from the horror game Last Light in Ashmore. Victims in real life have died in ways identical to the game. Abilities: warps reality, transforms the world into the rot world, turns victims into part of the environment. Number 12, Rot World. Creatures. Type manifestations of trauma. Creatures from the nightmare dimension inside the game. Known monsters: the Weepers, crying humanoids that scream when they see prey. Splitjaw, tall monster with a vertically split mouth. Crawling nurse, twisted nurse that crawls on walls. Number 13, the Stalker Girl. Type human monster. First appearance 2022, description: One possible outcome of the Choose Your Ending story involves a girl kidnapping the boy she dated. She ties him up in her basement, obsessed with him. Number 14, the Paradise VR entity type, unknown digital horror. First appearance, 2023. Description: a virtual paradise that traps users inside their worst memories. Victims become brain dead. Number 15, the Silencer type human serial killer. First appearance, description: a silent murderer who kills victims with a butcher knife. He never speaks, he simply silences them. He was last reported entering Ashmore. Final count of monsters, total known entities, 15 monsters. Creatures breakdown: demons, 1, undead, 3, cryptids, 1, mutations, 2, aliens, 1, digital horrors, 2, human killers, 2, unknown supernatural phenomena. If you'd like, I can also make
3.
the ultimate Ashmore monster ranking, weakest, strongest, along Halloween night number 6,